We always start by looking back, and it was back-to-back wins against Kevin Druids. The potential banana skin slip was avoided. However, in both games, level pegging at half-time and made to work really hard in the second period to collect the points. Did that come as a surprise to you in some ways?
Yeah, no, not a surprise after the first game, because I think if you look at both those first halves of the game, the home game and the away game, we were 0-0 in the first game, 1-1 in the second game, that they were two of the hardest first halves that we've had this season for different reasons. For tactical reasons, they were really organised, they were set up well in both games, a different shape, a different formation, but it really caused us a problem, and we did have trouble breaking them down. In the second game, the one most recently that you're speaking about, we created a lot more chances, which we were pleased with, and felt like a goal was probably more likely to come than it did in the first game. But yeah, I think a huge amount of credit, I said it after the game, in both games to the opposition and Andy, the manager there, who set them up really well, who's added a few players in January that I think has made them better. So it was a proper challenge in both games, and to not get that second goal, I think, until the 70-odd minutes shows how tight a game it was and how tough it was for us to break them down.
And it's a departure from the JD Cymru Premier this Saturday, because we host Guilsfield FC in the JD Welsh Cup. As far as the opponent's concerned, that's new territory. What do you expect from them that they will bring to the game based on your research of them so far?
Yeah, well, for a number of reasons, we probably know a fair bit about them compared to maybe if you played another team in this scenario in a different league, because their manager coaches in our academy. We've got another coach there who works in the academy as well. We've loaned a loan player out there recently, Morgan Dakin, who's played a couple of games. We've got another one of our ex-player who's played for them before, or two of them. And so in terms of knowing them, we do know a fair bit about them. It doesn't make it easier as well, though, because you can't get as much footage as you would do of a Cymru Prem team normally, but we've managed to get a bit of that also. So yeah, we'll be as planned and prepared as we normally are. We're very serious about this competition. We're the holders in this competition. We want to win this game and get through. There's no other way to look at it, and I think it doesn't matter where the teams are in the league or where they sit. This will be a tough test. They do have some attacking threats and a good long throw set play that I'm sure they'll be using against us. So we've done our research on that. We've prepared for that, and making sure that we do a good account of ourselves and get the basics right in the game, I think, is really important. But we're preparing for Guilsfield as if we're preparing for any other game, and treating it as serious for sure.
And you stated before publicly that you do want to win the JD Welsh Cup. The last time the New Saints tasted defeat in that competition was March the 6th, 2018. It goes without saying that you'll be keen to navigate what is another potential banana skin upset this Saturday.
Yeah, of course. I mean, hopefully it creates a bit of attention. Maybe being a local game, we might get a few more fans here from both sets of teams, and I think it's a great maybe advent for football in this area, and I think or around this area, and I think that could be a good thing as well. Obviously, we want to be on the right end of a result there. We'll be looking to get that. We want to try and progress as far as we can in this competition, and the pressure on is here to try and win competitions, and we've been doing that in terms of setting ourselves target in the league and where we want to get to, and there's no doubt that we want to do that in the cup as well. It's a cup that we've got a good history in, and we want to try and continue that. So, but we're not looking further ahead than the game on the weekend. It's the old saying, but it really is true. We'll be looking forward to the game, and it's nice to have sort of a break from the league and play against a different opposition, and hopefully it's a good game, but we end up on the right end of it.
And we do have a few days to go before the game itself. How are the preparations, both on and off the pitch, going so far?
Yeah, good. Sometimes when you've played a Friday night game and then that leads into a Saturday game, it gives us an extra day of training, being that we're full-time. So we've really enjoyed that and been able to work the players hard this week. We've still got 3 more sessions to go before the game, so we'll be looking to get to even more work and a bit more detailed work on the opposition leading into the weekend. So yeah, preparations have been good, and like I said, we prepare and plan as normal as we would do, whether it's a cup game or a league game. So
we've seen in recent games, not just the league but also the friendly that we played against Airbus, that you've been keen to promote some of the youngsters either to the starting lineup or on the bench. Are we likely to see any of the younger players in from the off this coming Saturday?
Yes, possibly, and not because it's a token game that we could throw them in to see if they're ready or not, but because how they've been training and playing. You look at, for example, Jake Canavan. He didn't get on the pitch Friday night. He played in the game against Airbus, scored 2, was excellent in that game. He came on the week before against Druids and has made a few appearances off the bench and is really pushing for a start at the moment and is in consideration for that. That doesn't mean he'll necessarily start on the weekend, but he's in contention for it. And for a young player like him, it's his performances in training and in games that have put him in that position. So it wouldn't be a token one if he did start. It'd be because he deserves to it. And there's a lot of other players who have done that recently as well. We've had a number of the scholars training with us, which shows the good work in the academy that's being done here. I really do believe that. And that shows that we're in a good place. Our training numbers of younger players from the scholars who aren't professional yet training with the first team are very, very good. We use them regularly, as well as doing, like this afternoon, we did some individual sessions where we got the younger players in with the first and second year pros, with the group split up into midfielders, attackers, defenders. So we're regularly working with those young players, the first team staff, and we know who's strong, who needs some areas of improvement, and the ones that are hopefully coming through for the future. So yeah, I think that we're in a good position with that, and you could see a few faces this weekend pop up there, but we'll see how we go. There's a lot of first team players that are hungry for this game as well. They want to progress as far in this tournament as they can too. So they'll be wanting to play too. So we'll have to see how we go.
Well, I was going to ask you about the senior players next. Is it an opportunity to perhaps shuffle the pack a little bit and maybe give minutes to some of those senior players that haven't featured as much as they would have wanted to in recent weeks?
Well, yeah, you could look at it that way, but I think that there's good competition for places at the moment. Everyone is fighting for competition. You look at the subs that we brought on off the bench against Druids, it was a strong bench and players who can come on and change a game, but I wouldn't say ones who aren't necessarily able to start or could have a place to start in the team. So that's the challenge we've got as staff to do that, and getting the right balance of that I think is really important. The ones who deserve to play and are on form to maybe keep them playing, the ones who might not have played some game time to start them, or the ones who are fighting through and need a bit of a confidence boost to play as well. So there's a balancing act with that all the time, and that's the difficulty we've got, but I think it's a good position and a strong position we find ourselves in.
And although, as we say, we do have a few days to go before the game itself, what's the availability likely to be?
Yeah, availability is good at the moment. We've still got the long-term injury of Keston Davis, but we've had a couple that have come back in. Danny Davis is available for this weekend as well, and apart from that, pretty much everyone's available. So that's a strong position for us as well, with everyone in the squad fit and ready, apart from Keston, really, to play in that game.
And how's Keston's developments coming along? Are we likely to see him in training in due course?
Yeah, good. No, he's on track. He's working a lot with Phil, doing a lot of work with him in the gym and just strengthening that knee and getting himself in the overall shape to then when he can make that comeback on the pitch. I wouldn't probably set a time limit on it, but it hopefully will be this year that he can get back on to some training and maybe 1 or 2 games, but we'll have to see how he goes. Never like to set too much of a time limit on these things, but look, his dedication and commitment to that I think has been fantastic. What we forget with him is that he came in and played in Europe with an injury cloud as well, a different injury, and played against Victoria Pilsen injured and did an amazing job. And then really put his body on the line during that time. He came back again, played during the season, got injured again, which hasn't been his fault, but he's really put his body on the line for the team and the players and everyone here at the club. So credit to him, he's had a really good attitude with that, and hopefully he gets back soon.
And finally, Anthony, we did have an enforced break during the festive period because of the COVID situation, but we came back January the 21st. We beat Connors Quay Nomads 3-1 here at Park Hall. A week later, 4-0 victory on the road at the Oval against Carnarvon, and you not only were nominated as Manager of the Month, but today, hot off the press, breaking news, you've actually been given that award.
Yeah, no, look, it's good to have these awards, but what I would say, it's probably the wrong name for the award in a way. I think it's a huge team effort. It should really be Team of the Month as opposed to Manager of the Month, because without the players going and delivering those results, which I think was a really tricky 2 games for different reasons. I mean, we had a long, like you say, enforced break. We came back and trained really hard. You never know how the team are going to be. We had a couple of friendlies, but you never know whether you're going to be on it enough, and a really strong performance against Connors Quay, I felt, at home, and a very deserved victory there. To then go away to a tough place, Carnarvon, first time they had a crowd back, really caused us some problems in the game. To score those goals and do well in that game, I think was a real credit to the players. So first of all, you need the players to be going and delivering. You need the staff to be working as hard as they can, and since I've come in, the staff have been excellent here, both on and off the pitch, the support staff as well, you guys. everyone from the people who makes our food for us, to the cleaners who clean for us the training ground every day, to everyone off the pitch who does the admin, and all those people, everyone has I think like a part to play in, and that all comes with the results and the you could say the good form that we're in at the moment. So I think that's really, really important, that everybody understands that it's a real team effort, from even the academy people who have worked with those players in the past to that then are playing with us now, like Ben Clark and those ones. So I think it's really key that we mention that it's great to get those awards, but it's certainly a team effort, and we're really understanding of that here, both players and staff, I think.